Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today, this person actually wrote more, but the way they spaced it out, it would take up the whole screen. As always, you can get the seed from the video description, and when you're ready, let's go gold stake painted deck. Alright, first boss is spades. First round we have kings and fives as a full house. Alright, if you were curious, specifically they said they couldn't get past ante 2. Alright, we cannot afford it. So, buffoon pack instead? Maybe. Extra discard or flash card. Flash card can be very powerful, but it's not going to be online for a while. I think we take it now and go next. Alright, we have kings and eights. We have a bunch of diamonds. We could discard the diamonds and try to go for better diamonds. Maybe we discard the 9. Maybe. Could discard the ace. What are the options here? So, could be we just go for the diamonds flush. In that case, maybe we discard hearts. If I'm going to discard a bunch of cards, I want to discard cards of the same suit. Could go for a couple different straights here. Let's go diamonds. I have queens. Okay, so if we're going to discard, we should discard hearts again. We should discard... We already threw away some clubs. We can throw away some more clubs. This is not a flush. I can play kings as a pair. Throwing away more hearts. That's 10 hearts. That's a lot of hearts. Anyway. Do we keep the queen or the 3? Maybe we don't need the queen. Would have had a lot of kings. Alright, so now I can play this flush and then follow it up with 8s of some kind. How about 3 8s? How about a straight or a flush, or doesn't matter? Alright. Bummer. Now we got $8. Do we want a burglar? I think I'm interested. It could be a way of getting ahead on money. Maybe. So here... Hearts. And then... So... We did hearts, maybe we want to do diamonds. Maybe we want to not do spades. I could play this. I could throw away the clubs here. In case we... Am I trying to get a 7 here? Maybe. So I get more 8s. Bummer. I guess I play 2 8s and I try to get diamonds here. Seems the most reasonable line. Alright. So we turned 2 discards into 3 hands. We were able to win with 3 hands left over, so that's fine, I guess. In the next round, probably we want a little bit of molt, so probably we reroll once just to get the molt on the flash card. Could take a rock here. I think we just go reroll once. Maybe. Could be the moon in case of emergency. I think is unnecessary. We just play 2 5-card hands here. Because we got the burger. So we could go 6s and kings. What's this, boss? Play only 1 type of hand. Okay. I can play a 9 high straight. Doesn't win. And then 2 pair maybe. Could be queens and 2s as 2 pair. That should do it. Okay. We got 4 hands left over. We could square up. Is going to be good with the burger and good with the flash card. Sure. I would like to save my money for the reroll here. Are we gonna be okay? I need 3 5-card hands to win the next round. Or I need a Mercury card. With the square, we should be okay. Right? Maybe this is greedy, trying to get the reroll surplus. Alright. I could play 2 pair. 2 pair is not a lot. I think I want to get 3 of a kind at least once. Okay. I could do kings and 2s as 2 pair. I'm going to need at least 1 5-card hand. Okay. If I play the 2 pair jacks and 8s, I'm not going to get my 5-card hand, but that seems fine. Maybe. So 2 pair is worth 300. If I play a regular pair of 2s, that's pretty bad actually. Okay. 10s and 7s, and then we play 3 queens and then it wins. So that's 300 already. And then I can play queens and 6s as 2 pair. Alright, so 2 pair for 300 there. Boss is 2,000. Could be halvesies. Halvesies, as an eternal, feels really bad. But maybe halvesies is correct. We can square up and then with halvesies it's fine. I could do that instead of the flash card. Maybe. We should be fine here. So let's go save our money, go next. Matador works against this boss, but I don't want to take Eternal Matador on the painted deck. So we win with pairs. We start with a pair of 4s. Okay. And let's square up as much as we can. Okay. So there's a pair of kings. I need a pair of 7s. Is already 300. So here's a pair of aces. And then we'll do halvesies on the last one. So here's 2 aces. Is 2,000 points. Okay. So thinking about the next round, we need halvesies twice. We can save the rest of our money. We could skip for a buffoon tag, but probably we just square up here. So play a pair of 4s. That's it. Pair of jacks. Pair of the queens. Now the pair should one-shot. So we can square up 6 times. Pair of 10s here. And then aces with halvesies. So now that's 25. Okay. Might have to do a little math here. Let's go next. Save our money. Okay. So that's 500 each pair. Great. Again, I think we're fine with halvesies only 1 time. We could do 2 jacks. Queens, kings, that's it. Queens. Kings. And then the pair of aces should be at least 25. I think it's closer to 3,000. Yes. Okay, could be judgment. I don't have room, so we actually just save our money and go next. All right. Pair of twos, pair of fours. We know the pair of kings is gonna win. Let's play high card as a throwaway. And then here's a pair of kings. Actually, it doesn't matter what we play. Everything scores the same because we got halvesies. Okay. All right, so the next one is going to be 9,000. Keep saving our money. I guess we have money. We could take a standard pack here, looking for value generators like a gold seal. Go next. This boss is extra large. That's not good. The gold seal we picked up is a 6. Okay. So I want to keep the 6. I can play 8s once. I could do one more of those or not. What happens if I play the jacks? So that's 600. If I do this, maybe that's too much. Yeah, that is too much. Oh well. Square up again. Now we're just waiting on a supernova probably. Okay, so we're getting like still maybe 4,000 per hand. Could be ramen. Maybe you go ramen instead of flashcard and then that wins. Sure. Yeah. And then as a rental, are we taking these 2 standard packs? So rental takes me down to 32. So we can open 1. I don't really need the rock. Though maybe is fine. Let's not take it. So rental down to 28. Let's go next. How about... I want to keep the 6. I can throw away a 9. Alright, so... If we play the halvesies pair, it wins. So let's square up. Here are the kings. High card is fine. There's the pair of 6s. Okay. Pair of 5s. And then finish with some 6s. 9,000 points. All right. Inweasable is not what we want. Could go Arcana. $8. Spin the wheel or get a gold card. Probably won't want a gold card. So maybe a gold 5. And then maybe we turn it into a 6. I don't know. Could be a buffoon pack. Could be... We have a rental, so maybe we save our money for vouchers and also standard packs. I don't think we can really swap out any of these jokers except for maybe the ramen. Alright, so I'm looking for a pair of 6s. We could start with a pair of 10s. Okay. Oh, we played 3 of a kind before. That's why it was worth slightly more. I mean, that's completely fine. There are the 8s, and then aces. Okay. The 9s don't win. And then we square up. Finish with 4s probably. Could be a pair of 5s if we want. Cool. How much was that? Like 7,000? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Next round, we need 2,500. Boss says Serpent. Could pick up Honu, I guess. For sure, I want Arcana, looking for money. Could be a steel card, could be a steel... doesn't really matter, right? Maybe we go steel 4 of spades. Picking a 4 of spades, I don't know, in case we get a blackboard maybe. Go next. Alright, so... we need to play a couple of these hands, right? So there's... not a lot of pairs here, so let's square up. I can play this pair of 6s, and then if we get the gold seal, we can play the gold seal with the other 6. That's about 8,000. So now we win. All right, pair the 8s. Pair the 9s, and then finish with the 6s. There you go. All right, so 85. Next round we can play 3 halvesies pairs. We do get a death card. We can make another, could be gold seal, could be gold card. Probably gold seal. Rental takes me down. Let's go Arcana first in case we get Hermit. Could be Temperance. Could be Devil. Make another gold card. Probably we want the gold card. If we take Temperance, we can open the booster pack. But maybe if we have a gold card, it's fine. So I have gold 5 and gold 6. And I'm probably going to make another 6 or 5. Maybe we go gold. This really doesn't matter. Maybe we go gold jack. We're going to open the standard pack because I have death. I could get a red gold card. Yes. Alright. So, going back to playing pairs, which we don't need to play. There's aces and queens. And 5s. And the next one wins, presumably. So let's go. Here are the 9s. Does the next one win? It's close. Maybe 3 of a kind 6s does it, and then we don't have to stress about it. Or. Do I want to use death now, or do I want to save it for the fancy 5? I kind of want to save it for the fancy 5. I can play 3 of a kind this way. And then it scores slightly more, and then the pair of 8s should win from here, saving the death card. Yes, actually calculated. There's a supernova. So, no more halvesies. I guess we don't need ramen anymore. Supernova is kind of a lot. I think we still want the burger though. So, ramen's out. We take supernova. And then we don't have a rental anymore. We can take a standard pack. There's a blue ace, which is not super important. All right, so now if I try to do a pair of 9s, that's 12. Okay. And that's 12. Okay. So let's do high card 8. just to draw more cards here. If I play, so high card is 5,000 each. If I do it that way, I still want to square up vaguely. I can't play pairs because it scores too much, maybe. But I can play high card. I can play a pair of kings, and then I can finish with the pair of jacks, maybe. Yes. I guess I don't have to play the pair of jacks. I could just play high card ace here. Still missing on the gold card. Bummer. Cool. Alright. Pants? Too late for the pants, right? Orbital tag for pairs is something that we don't need. Go next. Boss says no repeat hand types. Well, that's kind of rude, actually. Alright. So, start with a pair of twos. Okay. Sevens. And sixes. 15,000. So jacks doesn't win. Oh. No, I could have used a death card. Bummer. DNA is interesting. Do we still need the burger? Probably. So, could be devil here, and then we can use death on the blue seal. Rewarded. Alright, so we don't need the rock. Could be reroll the boss. I think I'm going to reroll the boss now, just so that we have information what the boss is going to be. That's fine. Alright. So, pair the tens. And kings. Alright, I can throw away a king here. I can play jacks throwing away a king. The next pair wins. I can sneak in a 6. I can use the death card now just in case. I want to square up. Maybe I play 2 pair here. Maybe I play high card queen. So I can almost play high card 6, I guess. Concerned about halvesies. How many 6s do I have left? Not that many 6s. Alright, there's the pair of 6s. 20,000 each. Okay. We just use a death card, right? So let's look for a fool. There's a fool. Yes. And we don't have room for a buffoon pack, so we just go next. Or I guess looking for some kind of X-molt, maybe. That's it. Go next. Alright, so keep the low cards, maybe. I can play a pair of 4s. 20,000 each. We're gonna need all of the pairs, I think. Right? Could be the 6s. Aces. Next pair wins. We can play 2 pair to square up. And then, it could be another ace. There we go. Okay. Alright, no time to do the castle. Going back in time is interesting because we have the extra hands. Boss says lose money. That's gonna be expensive. Alright, inside here we've got, could be a gold seal jack. Is maybe something that I don't care about since we already have the blue gold cards. Let's go next. I'm gonna save my money because the boss could be expensive. We can play 8s. If I draw 6s, I should keep them. So another 30,000 doesn't win. I can maybe get away with playing high card. That's 4,000. Okay, so we could do another one. And another one. Cool. They're the 6s, I guess. Okay. Okay. Mystic Summit, no. Celestial Packs. Did we take a telescope? We did not take a telescope, so I don't care about the Celestial Packs, probably. We just go save our money. Maybe I'm supposed to reroll the boss because of how expensive it is. Maybe it's better to just play against a different boss. Is there anything that we would be somewhat afraid of? I guess face down after played would be kind of annoying. Alright, pair the 9s. 37. Okay. So one more doesn't immediately win. Let's go 3 kings. And I should play high card when possible, because it scores more. So that's 6,000. The pair of 6s wins. And if not, I gotta play a pair of aces, or we get high card here. Bummer. I budgeted poorly, to be honest. Alright. So, we do Mercury here. We can go back in time and get more scaling, probably. Do that. Don't need bonus card. Don't need these rocks. Let's just go next. Alright, how about a pair of 3s? Ow. It's gonna cost me like 50 bucks, right? I could pair the jacks. I only need 2 more pairs to win. So let's play high card. We could do a pair of aces. Next pair wins. So I could play the pair of 6s. I want to dig for a gold seal, even though it's very expensive. So it could be high card jack and then finish with the 6s. There we go. Bummer. Look at all this cool stuff we missed out on. Alright. Overstock. This boss face down after played C. We would have rerolled into it. Bummer. Did we get seed money? I don't remember. Alright, Justice we probably don't care about, though we could use it on the red seal, could be kind of interesting. Do we really need the gold card? Not really. So maybe Justice makes sense. Maybe with Supernova, Justice doesn't matter. What's in here? Could be a steel card, could be more blue seals. Maybe, do we have enough blue seals? We got 3 blue seals. Maybe it makes sense to take 1 steel card. Go next. Alright, so there's aces, 40,000 each, right? Play the pair of jacks. High card is actually worth quite a bit, isn't it? If we just play high card 9 here, it's like 8,000. So blast the 5, play the pair of queens. Okay. Now I want to glass more 5s. That's the move? There's a campfire. We could do that instead of the burglar. I mean, that probably does the thing. So fine, we could do that. All right, so if we take the campfire, then I could also drop the square. I guess square is 400 chips though. Mercury I'm gonna use. Standard pack I'm gonna look. Maybe we get a purple seal. I do probably want a little bit of campfire value here. So the burglar was a ×2 hands. So for the campfire, I should go 1 more, probably. We don't have the joker slots to grow the campfire, but this is probably fine. Alright, so now I can play a pair of 4s, which we're pretty sure doesn't win. Okay, the next pair does win. That's good to know. Now we can discard looking for 6s. There's a 6. Okay. I can play high card, which doesn't win. I can follow up with a pair of queens. I could play a pair of queens or a pair of 6s, doesn't matter. Okay. 100,000 per hand, we beat the boss in 2 hands. That's it. Could be a hungman. Maybe we're supposed to save it and just grow the campfire. Maybe. We'll see. Go next. Face down after played. So I can play a pair of 4s. Okay. The next pair at face value doesn't win unless we get the steel cards. So let's play this pair of queens, which presumably doesn't win. Okay. And then we can discard the face down ones. Alright, we got a pair of kings that we can play. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown away the ace there. But I can play a pair of kings. And then I can sell the hungman to the campfire, I think is the correct move. Alright. And then this boss is gonna be extra large. Hey, look, an extra hand. So, all right. Square is a ×3 right now. I guess I go Arcana looking for money. Could be a death card on the 5. So maybe I want to turn a 7 into a 5 here. Sell for the campfire. Extra hand is fine. I guess you could take the Chad here and then play the glass cards. Maybe. Maybe if I sell the square, then I can grow the campfire bigger by having an extra Joker slot. Maybe. 56 cards in the deck. Can we draw the glass card? I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna keep the square. Safe thing to do is just keep the square. So with this amount, we should be good to go next. All right. So I can pair 8s, throwing away the 5. I have 2 steel cards in hand. Is that going to be an issue? I don't think so. All right. Next one wins. We can play high card ace. Oh, maybe I want to play high card jack. That way we can get the money. And then discard. Okay, so we can do queens. We could discard the 5s. There's a pair of queens. For the record, we would not have drawn the glass cards. All right. Emperor. The last card we used was Death. So let's go Arcana first in case there's a Fool. No Fool, but there is a Death card. So I could copy a blue seal and maybe that gives us more fuel for the campfire, or we could make a steel card. Maybe it's time to make a Zoolander. Maybe. I guess we can use the Emperor first. So I don't need any of those. I could do steel ace. I could make a different ace into steel, I guess. Maybe. Or do we want to copy the ace? Steel seems fine. 11 on the fortune teller. There's 2 planet cards. We get a mime. So mime again. Square is kind of like a ×3. So if I have 3 steel cards in hand, the mine is worth it. Otherwise, not worth it. Let's go next. All right. So could be pair of 5s. Next pair wins. I could play high card ace. High card, oh, sorry, I forgot to square up. High card king here doesn't win. It doesn't matter, right? Because we're just going to sell to the campfire anyway. All right. Very, very thin margins this run. Okay. So, okay. There's the Chad. And Jupiter for the campfire. Go one more. All right. So Violet Vessel is 1.2 million. Shuffle me Jimbos. Onar. Now what? Okay, this one's eternal. So eternal means it's halvesies. Okay. I have the 5s. I can do something like this. Go ace high. Okay. There's her. Okay. I could do ace high again. All right. And then a pair of 5s, I guess. There you go. Okay, unfortunately we didn't get both glass cards, we just got one. That's alright, I guess. Alright. Campfire's disabled, that makes sense. So, got the 5, did the steel cards. The steel cards don't do as much if we don't have the second glass card, but maybe it's fine. So, you know, if you do a red seal glass card, that's going to be a ×4, so 13, and then you go ×4, and then the steel cards start applying, but my supernova is already 96, is kind of a lot of pairs. We got the square guy up to 432, so almost like, well, better than a stuntman, but if we go 400 chips on top of 175, we said that's kind of like a ×3. We could have sold the square and made room for the campfire, so you're just buying and selling jokers for the campfire. That works if you end up getting 3 times as much stuff. So whatever planet cards and tarot cards that we're selling to the campfire, if the campfire gets up to ×4 or whatever, can we get up to ×12 and then replace the ×4 with a ×12, right? So that's 3 times as big. Or do we just keep the square joker? I think it made sense to keep the square joker. I mean, if we just calculated, then we have plenty of points. We could have beat the Violet Vessel, of course, if we played more hands. Maybe. Habsies made sense at the time because we didn't have any other kind of plus mult. It is awkward, of course, with the square, but it is fine, probably. We don't need the square to be 400 for it to be useful, right? You stack the square up to maybe just 150 or 200, and then it's good enough. Even if you just have, I don't know, a banner that gives you 60 chips, that's good enough. That's worth a joker slot. Banner plus Habsies is pretty strong already. You just need to survive until maybe you have something else going on. In this case, we did get the blue seals, and even with the blue seals, square still did plenty for us. We took Supernova. Supernova makes you a little bit fragile to certain bosses, like no repeat hand types, or maybe the Flint, where base chips and molt are halved, or maybe... What was the other one that we were concerned about? We were concerned about face down after played is a little bit awkward with the burglar, but I guess you can just sell the burglar and then get out of that. Burglar is not great unless you have some kind of synergy to go with it, but maybe the synergies are not that hard to get. And so most of the time I take the burglar in the early game. If you just turn your discards into hands, and those extra hands are worth extra money. Or you can also get extra scaling on things like, in this case, Square Joker and Supernova. Handed deck only 4 Joker slots, but that's okay. It doesn't take that much to be successful. Take care, everyone.